now we will be switching to Switzerland with Pietro Rezzonico from RTS, Swiss Radio Television. And you will be, I believe, looking back at the use of facial recognition and other AI tools within RTS. Pietro, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Xavier. I will. Okay.
And we see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So thank you. Hello, everybody. First of all, and thank you to the Affiliate to give me the opportunity to present what we have done since 2019 via the automatic metadata extraction and the automated tool. In this presentation, I will focus on both facial recognition and visual search, and more by the point of view of the end user, the documentalist user. I will speak very shortly on what we have done, what we presented in Stockholm 3 years ago, what we have done since and then what we have learned from using this technique. So 3 years ago in Stockholm, Leonard Boucher presented the visual feature extraction pipeline. This pipeline implements the recognition capability using machine learning techniques. This pipeline, which use in fact only open source resources, allow the extraction of face, landmark, and object features. It allows also to extract feature for the speaker identification, but we don't use it this past years. Let's go to what we have done during this year. For that, I will switch to directly to the live demo. Okay, the first thing, it's what we have done. It's the continuous development of the database of public figures, which is one of the first steps for the use of facial recognition. So this database consists on local and international public figure, and it's all the profiles are created like at what Tom was saying through the thesaurus. It allows us to be sure that only public figures are created for the facial recognition. So just a quick example here. For example, if I take the profile of Roger Federer, so within this interface, we can documentalist can manage the profile of the profile, can add, delete, create new profile. There is also in a page of result of the facial recognition, which allows to increase the result, to create profile, hide photo. I take this profile because there is one thing. It's the problematic of the age. For example, for people who are figure who have a long career, like for example Federer, in order to be recognized all through the archive, we need to have a very complete profile with picture of Federer when he was young, picture of Federer nowadays, and all the different stage. It's not a problem, but it takes a long time to create. It takes time to create this kind of profile, and from some people, for some person, it can be very difficult to find earlier photo at the beginning of their career. So I will. the second step, it's we analyze all the I'm sorry. Since 2019, we analyze all the current production within with the facial recognition. So as for now, we have about 250,000 sequences that were created in our archive content management system from the facial recognition. And here I show you just an example. For example, this one is it's a summit, G7 summit last March. And there is some contextual description on the event itself, but the visual part is now the indexation come directly from the facial recognition. I mean, all the people in this meeting were recognized by the facial recognition and were indexed in the database. It allows direct access to the media, and like for example here for Joe Biden and so on, and so direct utilization of this material from for the end user. So it has some consequences on the job of the documentalist, because now all this some years ago, all this work was done by documentalists. Today, there is no more description, manual description for that. It's the machine who is running that. But there is a new role for the documentalist. It's to control the quality of the result, and to in order to see if there is if perhaps there is a missing profile or there is a false recognition, so they can control that, modify the profile, create a new profile. So it's a new role that we ask now to at the documentalist, to check in the interface, to check the result of the facial recognition, and to make to allow the evolution of this all this system. Yes. So the third example I want to speak here, that we have done during these 3 or 4 years, is the visual search. So the visual search to date, we analyze all the video archive through the pipeline, and so actually we have more than 500,000 faces and 500,000 scenes in the index. I mean that it means that today we are able to search with the visual search through our entire video database. I mean, it's approximately 160,000 hours of video. So I want to, let me perhaps show you 2 quick examples of the use of this visual search. The first one is a request we received some days ago. In fact, someone asked us to retrieve this item he saw on YouTube. So it's an item from the RTS. And there is some information on publication date, the publication date. And for us, it was impossible to find in our database this item. So we use the visual search for that. And in this item, we take some representative picture. In fact, this one. Then we load it in we take this search from an object to a scene. I upload these images. In fact, there is this image, this picture is analyzed. There is a feature extraction, and the feature, the vector feature, are compared with what we have in the database. And here we see that the first result is it's the good one. We have exactly the same image picture. And we found exactly the same item. In fact, this item was not published in 87, but in 1987, but in 1989. But in fact, it doesn't matter because it's some shadow item in our database. In fact, there is the video material, but there is no metadata, absolutely zero metadata. So there is no way to find this item otherwise done with this visual search. Another example is this one. Sorry, attack. It's the RTS communication team, contacted us because they want to use this picture before publishing it, but they didn't know who was the person. Because they want to publish it to pay tribute to this man who is Christian Zender, a well-known RTS producer, but they didn't know who was this the woman beside him. So we do the same thing. No, it's this one. We upload this this picture in the visual search, but for face search. This one. So the system detects two different faces. I take this one. Again, analyzing, extracting the feature vectors, comparing to the database, and here is the result. We see we have so it's the result. We see we have quite a lot of result of this person. I go to the first result, and
du cinéma. Très vite.
Here we were very lucky because the name of this person was written on the screen. So, so it was very easy. It was lucky in this case. If it was not written, we can find his name, her name on the commentary or in the metadata associated to the different assets. And so we know it's even Lenzlinger, and she was the former head of Swiss cinema, and so we can give we gave the information to the RTS communication, and they can publish. They could publish this picture. Well, I have a lot of examples with visual search because it's became a very used tool because it's very performing in the right management or to find well, everything in by the picture in the database. So I come back to the presentation. To discuss on what we learned during this year. I have a lot of discussion this past day with other colleagues to prepare that. And so I begin with the facial recognition. So as already mentioned in the two earlier presentation, there is biases with the facial recognition regarding the ethnicity. It's a well-known problem that the training data was not generalist enough, and we have difficulty with the non-white people. The second problem, it's the one with the age. So the profile should cover all the age of the career of a person. For these two, there is a third problem. It's with some kind of images. For example, the people with caps, or the people with bird, for example, the birdman with glasses. We have a very poor result for that, or difficulty to recognize these men. And for sure, I'm typically not a good client for the face recognition. In this case, I not try, but and Xavier perhaps. But no, now we are hoping that the algorithm we use, it's quite not so new. It's 3-4 year old. So we hope now that there is new algorithm that can help us to more with a more bigger performance. I will speak just on that a little bit later. But okay, but however, what we see, these problems are easily outweighed by the benefit of the facial recognition, because it provides very valuable metadata to the content without descriptive or manual metadata. It improves the search of the archive, and it allows us to perform statistical inquiries. For example, we run statistical inquiries on the statistic on the gender of the guest of TV program, or statistic on the screen time of political figure. Without this automatic extracted metadata, it would be very difficult to provide this statistic. And from the point of view of the evolution of the role and for the documentalist, it represents a new job, new activity for the documentalist by working on such a data set and generate these statistic, or generate also data story based on these data. So some word on this, again, on changing scenarios, changing role, regarding the facial recognition. And what we see is, again, it's the point of view, it's a documentalist point of view at this stage. But first, we had some excitation toward this technique. The documentalists were part in the integration process, and the implementation went well. And then, but this was followed by a period of suspicion toward this technique, with question like, what happened to my work as a documentalist? Or my basic job is to describe images. Instead, there is this machine that also makes mistakes. So one of the answers to this question was to talk about the evolution of the profession of documentalist toward data management, and that's what we are still doing, moving the work of documentalist from processing a document to processing data. This evolution is not yet completely shared, but today we are in a situation where this metadata is becoming more and more useful. So to conclude this part, along with the harvesting of various type of metadata, this automatically extracted metadata is now considered essential and for the indexing and searching content. Some word on what we learned from the visual search. As you may have seen, the visual search is a very powerful tool. It's really new and a huge way to search the archive. And unlike the facial recognition, the acceptance of visual search was quite immediate. And it's very widely used today. This is because of its performance, of course, but also and certainly because it does not touch the core business of the documentalist, I mean the manual indexation. It remains one difficulty with the use of the similar face search. Then this difficulty is due to the data protection and the privacy. We have a strong guideline for the use of this visual search. Now it's used by the documentalist, and we are not sure that we can open internally this kind of search for the journalist due to the privacy problematic, but it's still in discussion. So to finish, some word on the improvement development. We will continue to work with the EBU benchmark AI group on facial recognition. I put the address here on the screen. For me, it's a very interesting group because the goal is to benchmark state-of-the-art facial recognition system in order to find something that can avoid the biases that I speak earlier. So feel free to contribute because it's very, very interesting. We have to adapt the RTS and user search tool with AI generated metadata. As Tim mentioned earlier, there is a lot of metadata, and now we need a search tool, efficient search tool to manage all that and to offer a good end user environment. We have also one of the challenges to generate the facial recognition sequences for all, or labeling for all the video archive in order to enrich all their content. And finally, we are now working on the implementation of the speaker identification, already available in the pipeline, in order to enrich the metadata, especially for the audio. And so that's all. Thank you very much for the listening.
Thank you, Pietro. That was a very interesting presentation, and it was very nice to have a follow-up on something we had seen before a few years ago. And I also would like to thank you for the attention you put on the changing roles aspect, because that was very, very interesting to hear. And I guess we'll talk about it a bit later in the panel discussion. So thank you to all the speakers again, and thank you to